Hey, we're live with Hangar 18, episode number 15. And who'd have fucking thought we'd have made it this far? Maybe it's because we know too much. And with me, as always, is my heavy metal brother, the Spock to my Shat, Dreadwind.
Two words combined that can't make sense.
Exactly. You see that? You know, somebody gets it around here. I'm glad somebody does. Because, you know, I've had all fucking morning of people just not getting it. So there you go.
Same here.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck? People are just like, I don't know. I used to be a people person, but people ruined that for me.
Yes.
So we're just talking off air a little bit about how, you know, people down south with their bizarre fucking eating habits. They'll just dredge whatever they can off the bottom of the ocean, just eat that shit, no matter what it is. Put the right spices on it, they'll fucking eat it. No matter how many legs or antennae it has.
Weren't you the one that was just telling me about fried Twix?
Yeah. So what? That's awesome. God damn it. No, actually, that's kind of gross too. I see where you're coming from. All right. So anyway, enough with that shit. Let's go on to our first segment, which is always heavy metal news. New shit in the world of heavy metal for you. And this week, I know I'm fucking super excited this week. I just made myself excited. It's probably that hit of crack that's fucking kicking in right now. All right. So my heavy metal news for this week, I'm actually pretty excited about this. I just learned that Angela Gossow of Arch Enemy fame is contemplating another project. And by that, she's talking about another band, extreme metal band. And she's talking about that in maybe 2018. So
you just went to Loudwire and found that news, didn't you?
No, I went to Metal Sucks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
That was my news.
God damn it. Well, you better fucking find out something really quick then. All right, I'll find something else.
I got another one. Go ahead.
I don't have another one, so go ahead.
No, I was going to let you finish up with that one.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, here's another one for you. Dave Mustaine of Megadeth fame. If you don't know that, then fucking shut this off right now. Dave Mustaine of Megadeth fame is going to be on the new Body Count album and a cameo. I'm not really a big fan of Body Count, but I am a fan of Mega Man, so check that out.
Yeah, that was my other news. Thank you for
that. Motherfucker! You're shitting me, right?
No, I'm serious.
All right, so I guess I covered it all.
I got one more as a emergency backup.
All right, I'll shut up then.
I got it. Yeah, Dave Mustaine is doing a guest solo on. I think it's just one song, but yeah, I'm not a big Body Count fan either. But anyway, in other news, apparently Tony Iommi just recently had successful surgery and is now reported to be cancer-free.
Good. Because number one, I love Tony Iommi, and number two, I fucking hate cancer.
That's right.
That's good news. All right. Let's move right into our little choices that we made here, our 10 songs we're going to review. And for this little review segment, Dreadwind picked the first 5, so that's all his fault. And I picked the second 5, so that's all my fault.
Yeah, I saw what you did at the end there, too, to buff up your numbers a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Fucking, I picked some gimmies, right? So yeah, I told you, hey, last week I said we deserve some good shit this week. So we got it, I think.
Yep.
All right, so the first song we have is by a band called 3 Inches of Blood, formed in British Columbia, which I believe this is our 3rd Canadian band. Formed in British Columbia in 1999. This is off their Long Live Heavy Metal album. They came out in 2012. This song was called Metal Woman. And the very first thing I noticed about this song was in the video is that they have Malice McMunn in it, which you cannot go wrong with a video with Malice McMunn. And if you've ever seen Malice McMunn, you'll fucking understand what I'm talking about. They got her in the leather pants and the bullet belt. Yeah.
That was the best part of the video.
Fucking A. So I have a very punk rock sound in the beginning. I hate the vocals. The chorus was okay. The main riff was pretty crunchy. The solo I felt was mediocre at best. And I gave this a 5.5. So, Dreadwind, what did you think about 3 Inches of Blood, Metal Woman?
Yes, I've actually heard of this band, but I've never listened to this band before, so this is my introduction to them. I liked the intro. It kind of had the bass, the bass
bass and
guitar lead
drums.
in.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really cool. I thought the guitar work was pretty good in it overall. The lyrics are very, very corny.
Yeah, fucking hate it. Demon in the sack.
Yeah, yeah. And it kind of had a Judas Priest vibe to it, but not as good as Judas Priest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I gave it a 6.
The 6. All right.
Yeah.
So we apparently did not like that one. And apparently it was so bad that it drove the one viewer that we had off because now we have 0.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right.
It gets better.
Yeah, come on. It's like the dude that got turned into a nude. All right. So our next song we have is a band called Creator. And this band is from Essen, Germany, 1982. And this song is, or this band, this song is from the album Gods of Violence, which comes out January 27th of this year. 2 weeks from today, kids. And the song is called Satan is Real. And full disclosure, I'm a Colossal Creator fan. And yes, I spelled Colossal with a K too. Amazing opening riff with like the guitars and the bells. I thought that was amazing. I love the main riff. I love Millie's voice. Millie's awesome in general. The guy is just a great guy. The only problem I have with him is like sometimes he feels compelled, like some artists do, to espouse their political views, and I just wish they would not do that. I love the video with the cut scenes where it cuts back and forth from like their little play that they were doing, and then goes to the studio with the guys playing. I thought that's really good. Reminded me kind of like the old school, like One, where it would go from the movie Johnny Get Your Gun back to them playing. I see the ad for this song on Facebook like all the time, and I don't know if it's because I've looked up this song on YouTube before and Facebook knows that, but it definitely is trying to pimp this song out to me a lot.
It's probably because of all your satanic posts that you post all the time.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? I don't post this. Don't try and paint me with a satanic brush. All right. I might be a little bit of a Satanist. I don't know. The solo is amazing. There's no other way to explain it. The solo, I don't know what it is when guitarists do this, but when they like play on the fretboard with both hands, I love it when they do it. So when they're not strumming with one hand, you know what I'm talking about? And you fucking know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like, it's called finger tapping, maybe? I don't know what the fuck it's called. But anyway,
finger tap.
Yeah, it's great lyrical meaning to this song, and to me, and I won't go too much into it because like a lot of people get butthurt when you talk about religion. But to me, the song he's talking about, Satan. You don't have to go and look for it in some dusty old religious, manual, because it's everywhere. Like the evil that man does to man is pretty much Satan incarnate, and that's kind of what I got, from the lyrics and from the video, because like the video was just people doing heinous shit to each other. And that's where I think he's trying to say that Satan is more of a concept than it is, some winged bad guy.
Right. Rather than a physical entity, it's
right. Yeah, it's a metaphor. Right. So I love this song. I gave it a 10. I mean, this was a great choice. I love it. And Dread, when you had.
Yeah, I knew you would like this one. I really liked it too. I don't even have that many notes because I was just.
What are you trying to say? You trying to say I'm fucking predictable?
No, I wouldn't say that.
All right, go ahead.
I don't have very many notes because I was just sitting down enjoying the song. It's got a heavy intro. I like the harmony guitar parts, the little dual guitar parts, and I really, really like the guitar solo.
Yep.
And that's about all I really got to write down because I was just enjoying the song the whole time I'm listening to it. I really liked it. I give it, not quite as much as you did, but 8.5. Really
8.5. Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, let me ask you this: did you know about Creator before we started doing Hangar 18?
I knew of them.
Okay, but you never heard of them.
I hadn't really listened to them before. No.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Our next song is from a band called Behemoth, and
continuing with the theme here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Fucking Dreadwood's apparently on a Satan theme here because this song is called Lucifer. And just one more theme he had on this, we actually had together here is 8 of the 10 bands are not United States founded bands. This band, Lucifer, was formed in Poland in 1991. Lucifer. This band Behemoth is formed in Poland in 1991. The song Lucifer was off of their Evangelion album from 2009. And my very first note, as soon as the song came on, I thought, holy shit, this is going to be too long, because it's like, I believe, 7.5 minutes long.
Yeah.
And there are a few songs that can pull that off, you know, and be good all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
So in this, I don't know if this was one of them. The opening riff, and that kind of riff that they had throughout the entire song, I thought that was pretty evil, which I thought that was good.
Mm-hmm.
They blurred out the tits and pussy. That pissed me off. Why? You know? Who else is going to be watching a Behemoth video?
But you have to sign in order to see it anyway. Also, because like
right.
It wouldn't even come up. It said sign in to verify your age. So then you sign in, and then it's censored.
Right, you say it's censored. And here's the thing: it's like when you sign in, you can watch like ISIS fucking shooting people in the head, but you can't see titties. What the hell? I mean, you got to draw the line somewhere, but that, I think, is a dumb place to draw the line. I think the human body is a lot less offensive than, say, I don't know, mass executions. Maybe it's just me. All right, we went way the fuck off topic there. There's a lot of biblical allusions in the song and in the video. Like, for instance, he has, you know, his crown of thorns that she puts on him, and like the girls are, you know, a little bit angelic and a little bit demonic at the same time. Which there are some hot chicks in the video, so that like worked out good. The vocals, at some points, he already seems really distorted in the first place, but they added like an extra effect on his voice at one point, which I thought was kind of unnecessary. But that's just the way Behemoth is. I mean, my wife's a big fan of Behemoth, and so consequently, I've heard a lot of Behemoth, and that's just, you know, that's how they are. You know, they're not like Pantera.
Yeah,
this, you know, it's the way they are. So I gave this song a 6.5. It's not the greatest song in the world, but it's not, you know, the worst either. So what did you think about it? They're dreadful.
Yeah, it kicked in, and it's heavy, slow, and evil, and that's that main riff, and that's pretty much the whole song. It doesn't really change much.
Right.
It sits on that one riff for the whole song, which can work for some songs, but when you get a song that's 7.5 minutes long, it tends to just get repetitive after
monotonous.
Yep. Yeah, and it was definitely too long. I thought the video was actually more interesting than the song itself, because
me too.
It just doesn't change. It's, you know, it's very monotonous. It kind of had a Hypocrisy feel to it. Hypocrisy does that with some of their songs, where they have that long, slow, heavy riff that just kind of goes on while he's singing over it. Kind of a similar feel for me. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great either. I didn't think. I gave it a 6.5 also.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Mash it up. You know what we should do one day? We should like make a Facebook page. We should put these videos on the Facebook page, and then we should write out all of the scores on a toast. You know what I mean? Yeah, that might work. Yeah, that'd be a good idea for some time. Yeah. For somebody with some ambition.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that because, like, you know, I could never tell you like what we scored shit last week. Ever.
Yeah, I know. Shit, I can barely remember if we've done a song before or not now at this point.
Right. I think we've done, what, 150 songs now. So.
Something like that. It's like, wait, did we do this one already? I don't remember.
Well, I think we picked some of the stuff we pick is so obscure. There's no way we've done it before. So.
Yeah, this is true, but you know, other bands, you know, yeah.
Yeah, like we're gonna definitely duplicate some Megadeth in times to come, and Pantera and whatnot. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, your standard bands. All right, so our next band is called Varg. They were formed in Germany in 2004, and this song is called Achtung, which means either attention or caution. And I think in this case it means caution, judging by the lyrics, the rest of the song. And it's off of their Das Ende aller Lügen album, which means the end of all lies. And I'm not sure what year that came out in. And that's just my fault for dropping the ball because I didn't exactly look for it too hard. The main riff in this is heavy as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost has like a bluesy twist to it. It's not, I mean, it's not the blues, obviously, but it has like a little like twist to it where it's not just, you know, as Redwood would say, gent. It's got like a little flourish at the end of it. And the song, and I speak just enough German to be dangerous. So the song to me, it sounded like they were talking about the control of people from both the left and right political ideological spectrum. The rich being enslaved to money, and at one point in the song, they're in the video, which honestly, I pay a little more attention to the video than the song. Yeah. But they were literally the rich eating the poor in the video, and which to me also, because like the phrase for that is "eat the rich," and I'm not sure if it was the rich eating the poor or if it was the rich eating themselves. So there's a lot of like symbology to it, which like sometimes that can backfire because if you write like poetry that's so metaphorical that nobody gets what the fuck you're talking about, except like asshole English professors, then I don't think it's does you any good. But in this case, I thought it was pretty good. I like the song overall. I like their war paint and their contact lenses that they were wearing, and the music was good. So I give it a 7.0.
All right. Not speaking German, I had absolutely no idea what they were singing about. But the video starts out with like this hunter, shooting a wolf, and then it kicks into this big fancy dinner party at the guy's mansion, and he's obviously the hunter guy's the owner of the mansion. He's got the trophies and pictures on the wall, and they're all having this dinner party, and he's showing off his stuff. And then the band comes in and just starts tearing up the whole place. And at one point, like you said, they had the dinner guests, they were making them eat this corpse on the table, and I thought it was the hunter actually.
It might have been. See, and I think when he's killing the wolf, I think that's saying the small people can kill the wolves in the world. You know what I mean? Like you can get together and like hurt those people in power, and then later on, I think it means you can become those people, which is why he's the owner of the mansion.
Okay, I'm not sure. Well, Varg is another word for wolf, is it not?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I kind of thought it was more of a taking revenge on the hunter type of thing.
That may be possible.
With the band being Varg, wolf,
right?
Taking revenge on the hunter. Again, I don't speak German, so this is just what I was getting out of the video. And they were making the guests eat the corpse, which I thought was the hunter. And of course, they didn't like it at first, but then after a few seconds, they were like just digging into it and eating up like crazy. So it was interesting, very interesting video.
Yeah, definitely. And Varg definitely all their music is social commentary, basically.
Okay.
It's all about like the evils of too much money and shit like that. So.
Okay, cool. But yeah, the chorus, it's a very simple riff for the main riff, the chorus, but like you said, it's real heavy and it's real cool. It definitely gets you wanting to, bounce your head.
Definitely. Yep.
And then when they kick into the actual verse, the rhythm where he's singing the verse parts, it gets a little more complex with the guitars and all. I liked the song. It wasn't like stupendously spectacular, but it was pretty good. I gave it a 7 also.
All right. Well, shit.
Yeah.
It's 2 in a row.
It's Friday the 13th, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Holy shit. Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, this next band is called Gravedigger, and the song is called "Healed by Metal." And,
I just realized like all of these bands we've done so far actually fit Friday the 13th theme pretty well.
They kind of do, really.
That's purely by accident.
Yeah, and here's the thing. This song, "Healed by Metal," is the title track of an album that releases today. Yeah, who'd have fucking thought you came up with that by accident? Anyway, Gravedigger formed in Germany in 1980, and you could definitely tell it. They're an 80s band.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. They seem to me like a cross between glam and thrash. Like they're right on that little hairy edge between glam and thrash metal.
The guitarist kind of what I call it power metal.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. The guitarist is definitely a fan of Randy Rhoads. I mean,
yeah,
definitely. I mean, he even like has that Randy Rhoads stance that Randy always did, where he kind of like point the guitar up in the air. Mm-hmm. So he was definitely doing that, and he had a striped guitar, but it could have fucking just as well been polka dotted,
Yeah.
They reminded me a lot of Quiet Riot or Twisted Sister.
Mm-hmm.
on the heavier end of the glam scale.
Yeah.
There were great visuals in the video. Like I guess the whole thing starts out. They're like, hey, there's this chick and she's dead, and then they take her corpse and they perform this satanic ritual on her, which I guess that's supposed to be a metaphor for heavy metal. And they fucking heal her, and she gets up and like takes off her business clothes, and she's a metal chick now.
Yeah, she's got like her hair's like all done up nice. I think she's got like glasses on.
Yeah, she does have glasses and a business suit.
Yeah, like a business. Yeah, like she looks like a librarian at first.
Yeah, exactly. She just comes out and she can be like a fucking groupie for Slayer. So the solo is pretty good. The guy gets up on like this. I forget what the fuck he's standing on. He stands up on something, plays this solo, and he was definitely also a fan of artificial harmonics. Definitely, because he hit those quite a bit. I mean, he wasn't up to like Zakk Wylde level, because Zakk Wylde plays the fuck out of artificial harmonics. Yes. But he definitely sprinkled it in here and there. I kind of like the song. I like Gravedigger in general, even though they're kind of like not, quite as heavy as what I'm normally into. But I gave this a 7.5.
Yeah, it's got that big. Again, I call it power metal. It's kind of that big, kind of like you said, kind of a little heavier end of Quiet Riot type stuff. Maybe a Manowar style.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Bit, and it's got that very typical opening for that style of music. It's got the big chorus where everybody's singing "Healed by Metal." I'm not doing that again. It's a very, very typical power metal sound. The whole song is. The vocalist kind of reminded me. I was trying to place his vocal style, and it's not quite like Lemmy, but it's similar. I thought, just the way he kind of has a similar sound. I could almost hear him singing Ace of Spades.
I don't know. He reminded me a bit more of Dee Snider. But go ahead.
Okay. I gave it a 7. It wasn't horrible.
That was close too. Damn, we're on the same wavelength today. Must be because it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to the second half, which are the songs that I picked. Just throwing that out there. All right. Yeah. Hey, you got a 10, so there you go. All right. So anyway, the first song is by a solo artist called Farzad Golpagani. I think that's how you pronounce it, Golpagani, something like that.
I have no idea.
Anyway, he started out in Iran in 2002. This is definitely our first Iranian artist. Mm-hmm. The song was called 47, and Farzad, like all of his, well, not all of them, but a lot of his songs, especially on his later albums, are all just numbers. And this is off the album 3, which was released in 2008. Very Iranian guitar. Like, if I didn't know this guy was Iranian, I would have guessed Middle Eastern. Just from the sound of it. I love the drumming in the song. And
didn't what was the name of the album again?
It's called 3.
Okay, because I thought the video we watched, it says something about
Oriental Metal.
Oriental Metal.
That was that's the compilation that got put onto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was like a sampler. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I researched that. I researched this one. I even went to their website. So this one I'm sure is 3.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think he's playing a 7-string guitar in some of this. Because I don't know, it just sounds like he's hitting octaves higher than I'm normally used to hearing. I'm not a fan of the chanting part that they had at the one spot in the song. They kind of slow it down, and then there's kind of like this chanting. It's like almost like this ethereal chanting. And at first, I thought it might have been like like a Muslim cult of prayer or something, but it's not really. It's kind of, I don't even know what it is, but it's chanting. There are great tempo changes, and I really like the part where the whole song kind of slows down, and then he just blasts back into it. Mm-hmm. I love that part. In fact, I heard this song from a sampler CD from Metal Edge magazine probably 3 years ago. So I really like the song overall, and it's instrumental, and I didn't really like some instrumentals. They like go way too long, but I think this was right around 4 minutes, maybe 4.5, somewhere around there. So I give it an 8.0. I really liked it. And what did you think, Dreadwin? And you know what? Hold on. Let me say one more thing here too. I hate to interrupt you, but I picked this song because I thought you would like it. So don't fucking let me down here.
Okay. Well, there was an odd kind of a acoustic instrument in the background to the main rhythm.
Yeah, it might be a sitar.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was trying to place it. It almost had a either sitar or maybe even a mandolin
Yep, maybe. Yep.
feel to it. I couldn't quite pick out what it was.
Yeah, it definitely had like a metallic twang to it.
Yeah, yeah. The guitar work, the actual solos itself, is outstanding
Yeah,
throughout the
that's
entire.
why I thought you would like it.
The guy can definitely play. Um, there was an interesting breakdown around 220, and then like a minute later, I thought it was over,
Yep.
and it wasn't.
That's the comeback part I was talking about.
Yeah. The whole thing, it was kind of, it was definitely eclectic. It reminded me of something you would hear from Steve Vai. Normally I would say that's a good thing because I like Steve Vai, but this one just didn't work for me. I don't know why. The guitar by itself, his solos, again, were outstanding. I give that like just the actual guitar work itself like a 9, but the song as a whole just didn't go anywhere for me or do much for me. This one actually felt a little long for me. It got a little repetitive to me. I don't know if he just wasn't. He just didn't get a good melody to work in there because the solos were great, but he was just soloing over, a lot of the music. So I gave this one a 5.5.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I really didn't care for this one that much.
Damn.
Again, the guitar
with you in mind ever again.
the guitar work is outstanding, and I can't emphasize that enough because I was really impressed with his guitar playing. It was just after 3 minutes of soloing, I was.
Well, the thing is, this guy he's playing all the instruments.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
well,
it's
still
just one guy.
Okay.
All right, so that was wrong. Let's move on to our next one. All right, and full disclosure on this one, I'm a fan of In Flames, but that's not what I'm disclosing here. I actually meant to pick a different song than this, so there's 2 instrumentals in a row, but I did mean to pick a different off the same album, but like their song names are so weird that like I just kind of blurred it into one and picked the wrong one. So, but still, I didn't like miss you, so this is still pretty good. So this is by a band called In Flames. And they were formed in Sweden. I think Halmstad, Sweden. And Sweden. All right. In 1990, I don't know where Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think he came from Austria, but okay. All right. Formed in 1990 in Sweden, and the band In Flames. This song is called Dialogue with the Stars off of their 1997 album Horacle, which is a great name for an album, I think. There's an opening harmony type thing where they got harmonized guitars there, and I think that's fucking badass. I love that. And then they break into this heavy part right after the twiddling little harmonized guitars. It's like this fucking like super punch you in the gut heavy part. And then they do at one point they do this tempo change and they have like an acoustic guitar in there, which I thought was good. My only complaint about this whole song, and it's only 3 minutes long, was it's just a little bit repetitive. But I still love the song and I give it an 8.
Okay. See, when I got to this song, I didn't realize you picked this one by accident. I thought you did this on purpose because I thought you were trying to
pick a song with like actual lyrics.
Yeah. Well, I just figured you were trying to redeem yourself from the previous one.
Damn.
I like this one. I love the guitar melody intro, like you're talking about. It's got a really cool rhythm.
Yeah, In Flames are that's pretty much what they do. I mean, all their songs kind of have the same feel to them as this one.
Yeah, this was great. Very tasteful and catchy guitar work throughout the entire song. There was a lot of changes in it, and it was just enough to keep it interesting without getting weird. Because sometimes you can throw a change in there and have some weird ethereal vocal singing going on, and you're wondering where that's coming from. And
it sounds kind of discordant at that point.
Yeah, and they don't do anything like that. Like the changes are they keep it interesting without getting too monotonous, and it doesn't go way out into left field. The whole song was really great. My only complaint was, like you said, at 3 minutes, it just stopped right at the end, you know, and I felt like it needed maybe another 30 seconds to just kind of give it a little bit of an outro to,
like a trail off. Yeah,
yeah, a little bit of a trail off is what I felt
I
like.
think outro is the correct word, but I like trail off.
Yeah, yeah. That was my only complaint with the song. I really, really liked it. 8.5.
Hey, look at that. Matched again. God damn, it's got to be fucking Friday.
Yeah.
I want to fucking check this closet real quick, see if Jason's hiding there with a goddamn machete. Jesus. All right, I fucking lost my train of thought there for a second. All right, so moving on to our, yeah, I got like fucking totally just like phased out there for a minute. Moving on to our next band, it's called Sepultura.
Don't fall asleep.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing there.
Yeah, don't fall asleep. Freddie will get you.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. I think you gotta be on Elm Street for that one.
Yeah.
That little house and little fucking kids, the jump rope, singing that song. We should review that one time.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? The 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. That's the one. Anyway, Sepultura, formed in Brazil in 1984. And if you have a metal band and they were formed in 1980, low number, chances are it's going to be badass. The song is called Born Stubborn off their Roots album. And see, for me, Sepultura really has two phases, right? They have the pre-Chaos AD phase and the post-Chaos AD phase. The pre-Chaos AD phase is a little bit more like I don't even know, death metal to me. And the post-Chaos AD and Chaos AD are kind of like a little bit more thrashy. Because if you get into like, you know, Arise and stuff like that, I mean, they don't sound like they did before, is my point.
Mm-hmm.
They have two kind of phases to their career. But anyway, full disclosure, giant fucking Sepultura fan. I really, probably in my top 20 favorite bands of all time. Well, let me make that a distinction here. When they have Max Cavalera in the band, right, they're probably in my top 20 bands. When they get to like where the fuck the other guy is, I don't even know his name. Those songs are okay, mediocre, I would say. But anyway, move on to the actual song. Fucking just dancing all around it, right?
I'm with you.
I'm trying to like fucking fill in some time here. we're gonna end up at like 45 minutes here, so I'm trying to like stretch it out, right?
Okay.
So, they have this like the song starts out with this like alarm sound, and I don't
know exactly what I wrote.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know if they just do this ding, ding. I don't know what kind of alarm it is, but it sounds badass. And
it sounds like they're doing it on the guitar.
That's exactly what I thought, because it's not just the alarm. They do the like da, 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 in between the deep beat sounds.
Can we do that again?
Between the deep beat sound. But I really like that because it just basically they're saying. I love when songs start out like that because they're saying, "Hey, get ready to have your ass kicked." You know, it's like the songs that start out with the air raid siren, or the fucking songs that start off with, you know, with an alarm. I think there's a Prong song called "This Is Only a Test" that starts out with test the emergency broadcast system. That's fucking badass.
Yeah,
I really love it.
That whole album.
Cleansing is an amazing album. So is Roots, really. Then they do this really fast speed up, which is chock full of energy. And then Max's vocals are, of course, spot on, as per usual. And then they do a slow down, and then they do a speed up, and then they do a slow down, which is fucking great. My only one complaint about this song is that the end of it dragged out, I think, a little bit too long, where they're doing like their little, you know, flourishes at the end. That was a little bit too long, but it's still fucking amazing song. I give it a 9.5. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a really cool album. And again, a bit of a change in their sound, even from Chaos AD. This one,
it's a little more tribal.
A little more tribal, but also they tune down a lot more with their guitars, and it's got that much heavier tuned down sound. And actually, the tuned down sound. And interesting story about this: the producer for this album is I'm trying to remember his name now. A little goofy looking guy, Ross Robinson.
No,
is that his name? I think so.
They're gonna say Bob Rock.
No, it's the same. He's a little nerdy looking dude. It's the same dude that produced the first Korn album. And when this album came out, Korn actually kind of got butthurt about it and said that they were trying to claim that Sepultura stole their sound.
What? No.
Yeah. I guess because of the tuned down guitars, because they
yeah, because Korn invented drop tube guitars.
Yeah, I know, right? But and they use the same producer, which I think that's what the deal was, because they had the same producer, and I think they were like, oh, they just stole our sound, blah blah blah.
Yeah. What is that Korn dude's name? Jonathan something or other.
Jonathan Davis, yeah.
Yeah. One time I saw an interview with him on MTV, and I swear to God, he was getting a blowjob throughout the course of the interview.
It's possible. He's married to a porn star.
That doesn't shock me. So is Kerry King.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
At least I think he is. All right, I might have just made that up. But anyway, yeah, like
Jonathan Davis actually is married to, or at least she was a porn star. I don't know if she's still doing it anymore, but
yeah, they were showing.
She was when they got married.
Yeah, they were showing Jonathan Davis on some festival, and like just the look on his face and like the way his arm was moving. I swear to God, I think he was getting a BJ under the table during the interview. But that's pretty heavy metal, right? I'm not a big fan of Korn, but that's pretty heavy metal.
Yeah, yeah. And there was a show. What was that show where they had a bunch of guys from different bands? They were trying to do like a celebrity band thing. It was Ted Nugent and like the dude from Biohazard. And
you sure you didn't just dream this?
No, it was a TV. It was a TV show. And Sebastian Bach and a couple other guys, and they were trying to get them to do like this band, and they had to like do a song or something. I can't remember what it was now.
I think that was called Best Dream of Dreadwind.
No, it's look it up. I'm serious. I remember watching it, and the reason I bring it up is because I want to say Jonathan Davis was friends with the guy from Biohazard, and I think he brought his wife over there, who was the porn star at some point. That's where that came from. That's a completely huge tangent there, but anyway.
Yeah, definitely. We were way off topic on that one. All right, go ahead. Back to Sepultura.
So back to Sepultura. The alarm sound guitar at the beginning is cool, and then the guitars build up, and it just gets heavy as all fuck. It's got a real cool heavy groove about 2 minutes in where they do that change up, and Max is Max, man.
Yep.
The only thing I'm kind of with you also at the end. I thought it kind of trailed off a little too long. They could have maybe trimmed that up just a little bit. They had a little bit of like tribal chanting at the end. But other than that, I really liked it. 8.5 for me.
Hey, let me ask you something about Max. Do you think that he has more than one pair of those camouflage cutoff shorts? Do you think he wears that same grungy ass pair at every concert?
Judging by his hair, I'd say it's probably the same pair.
I'm thinking so too, because they look exactly identical.
You know what he does? And you know what he does? Yeah, no, he can afford it, but you know what he does with his guitar too? He doesn't play, like, he doesn't do solos. He just plays rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
So a guitar has 6 strings. A normal guitar has 6 strings. He doesn't put the high strings on it. He just has the bottom 4 strings on.
No, that's always cool.
Yeah, so he just leaves those off. He's like, I never play them, so don't put them on there.
All right.
But then if you buy a Max Cavalera Signature Series guitar, it's got all 6 strings on it though.
Oh, I did not even know there was such a thing. Who's he sponsored by?
I don't remember. I want to say
ESP.
Maybe, I want to say ESP, but I'm not 100% certain. But I remember seeing it. I remember seeing it not that long ago, and I was like, well, shouldn't that only have 4 strings? Because that's how he plays.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Max Cavalera, his hair is unique, to say the least. It's got like fucking bird's nests in it, and like fucking some of it's taped up with duct tape and shit.
I think the last time he washed it was probably 1984.
That is probably true. He's like, fuck it, I'm in Sepultura now, I'm no longer washing it. All right. Wow, we got that one. Got a little bizarre. So, all right, moving on to a little-known band out of Los Angeles, 1981. This band is called Metallica, and this is off of their 1984 album Ride Lightning, which is an amazing album, and this song is called Trapped Under Ice. And here are my notes for this song, Trapped Under Ice. Great guitar, great vocals, great lyrics, great solo, great chorus. 10.0. this song is amazing, and to me, this is required heavy metal listening to, because I think Ride the Lightning, while it is not as good as, in my opinion, is not as good as Puppets. Puppets is probably my favorite Metallica album. It's a close second. I mean, there's some great great songs on this. And just a quick story about Metallica's Ride the Lightning. I just lost my train of thought. Fade to Black.
Quick story about.
Yeah, Fade to Black, right? Fade to Black.
Okay.
I was flipping through channels one day, and I heard Fade to Black on CNN. I'm like, what the fuck? Right?
Wow.
And it was some senator died from the past, and they were playing it at his funeral.
Wow.
I think that was kind of neat, I thought. So there you go. Trapped Under Ice, Metallica 10.0, Dreadwind. And yes, I did pick this as a fucking filler for getting my scores up.
Yeah, I knew you did. Phenomenal album. I'm right there with you. In my opinion, Master of Puppets is the best Metallica album. That was the first album I listened to by Metallica. And then this album, Ride the Lightning, is a very close second. And this was the first Metallica album that I actually bought on cassette tape.
I was gonna say, I had them all on cassette tape too, yeah.
Yeah, we used to. I remember me and my cousin one summer. He was the one that got Master of Puppets, and he was living with us at the time. He brought it home. I was like, check it out. I was like, awesome. And that was my first time listening to him. And like 3 days later, I went to the store, Kmart of all places, and bought Ride the Lightning on cassette. So then I had one of those stereo cassette players with the dual cassette decks.
Oh, yeah.
Remember those?
Yep,
and
I do.
You could hit continuous play from deck A to deck B. So that's what we would do. We'd put Master of Puppets in one of them, and Ride the Lightning in the other one, and hit continuous play and just play the whole thing all the way through one album to the next one.
You could also make really, really awful copies of tapes.
Yes, you could. I did that all the time.
It had that, like, the whole song was like.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyway,
off topic again.
Great album. This is usually when you talk about Ride the Lightning, most people talk about Fade to Black, For Whom the Bell Tolls. This is one of those more underrated songs.
Agreed.
That's on the album. It's a great song.
Did you know the Austrian Death Machine covered this song?
I did not know that.
Now you know.
Did you know Fade to Black was originally going to be the first video that Metallica was going to film, but they chickened out and decided not to do it?
I did not know that.
Yeah, they were going to do a video for Fade to Black, and then at the last minute they decided they were afraid of doing a video.
And then they waited a whole other 2 albums.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, back to the song. It's got a really cool intro before it just kicks in.
Yep.
And just thrashes you. And Kirk is shredding like nobody's business on this song all the way through it. When we talked about Kirk Hammett solos on the Metallica review, and I was saying, it's not even good Kirk Hammett. This is good Kirk Hammett. This is what I'm talking about right here. Good solos all the way through the song. There's a cool change up about 2 minutes in. That's just like classic Metallica. The whole song's full of great riffs. It's got everything you need. It's got the audience participation part there, with the scream and the fate. Another great solo in there. What's funny about this, I say funny or ironic maybe, on this album, this is a filler song.
Yeah, I know. Because the other songs are so great.
That's how good this album is. This is a filler song on this album. You put this song on any other band's album, and it's like a huge hit.
Right. Agreed.
On this one, it's a filler song. It's amazing. I give it a 9.5. It's outstanding. This whole album's great.
Agreed.
There's not a bad song on the album.
Agreed. All right. So, yeah. All right. On a fucking high note right there. All right. Our next band is another little known band called Pantera. And I might or might not have fucking fluffed up my choices with this one too. Pantera from Texas, 1981. I guess mostly from Texas. They also have, some New Orleans influence there with Phil. Yep. This is off of their, it's not really their sophomore album, but functionally their sophomore album. I mean, we're not talking about or not sophomore album. I guess it'd be their debut album.
Debut, yeah.
Yeah, we won't
Their
talk,
major label debut.
yeah, we won't talk about pre-Cowboys Pantera here.
Yeah.
So anyway, the song's called Heresy, and from Cowboys from Hell, which is another one of those great metal albums that just like every song on there is badass.
Yep.
The amazing the opening is fucking amazing. I mean, it's just so awesome. That whole riff is just fucking heavy as. It's just heavy. The vocals, probably one of my biggest complaints about this, and it's not even that big of a complaint, is the vocals are a bit too high pitched for my tastes. The solo is badass. That's the only complaint I really have, is the vocals being a tad bit too high pitched. But that's just how he was during that album.
Yeah.
So I give it a 9.0. I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah, I love the intro guitar. Dime is freaking amazing. He just kicks ass.
Yes, he does.
The drums are really killer on this one too. The whole song is just really tight and heavy all the way through it.
Oh, I think I saw a porno called that one time.
Probably so.
Tight
yeah.
and heavy.
Did it have? No, I'm not gonna say it. Joke reference. I'm gonna let that one lie.
All right.
That's what she said. Okay.
Ooh, all right.
Dime just kicks ass on this whole album.
Oh yeah, Pink Beard action.
I think it was before his Pink Beard. Actually,
He was.
He was still going by Diamond Daryl.
Yep.
This time.
That was throwback to the glam period, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. I remember too. Like right around when the next album, I think Vulgar Display came out.
Yep.
He started going by Dimebag instead, and I remember seeing like articles Dimebag Daryl, and I'm like, no, it's Diamond, because this was I knew them from Cowboys from Hell, and that's how he's listed in the credits, Diamond Daryl. It's like why are they calling him Dimebag? I don't understand. He's supposed to be Diamond Daryl, and then I understood.
Yeah, that's
later.
where you're overthinking it, man. You should have just toked one up and been like, all right, man, that's cool.
Yeah, but I was like, but his name is Diamond Daryl. That's what it was in the first album. So, but anyway,
just little fact. I think for Hardwired to Self-Destruct, Kirk was going to go by Meth Pipe Hammett. That's a joke. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, that was weird. Phil was using definitely showing off his range and versatility that he had at the time.
Falsetto.
In his vocals. He definitely can't do that anymore. I liked it. The solo, I wrote solo and then I couldn't finish because it's Dimebag.
yeah, agreed.
The only thing that sucked was the video for this one. It was one of those ones that we get plagued with every now and then, where there's like 4 minutes of dead air at the end.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's not that's just whoever uploaded them. Yeah. So awesome song, 9.0, outstanding. It's freaking Pantera. And
we matched up again. I think that's like 5 out of 10. The same score.
Probably so.
That's fucking unprecedented.
I know.
I can't do the Jason.
Twilight Zone.
You having trouble saying Twilight?
I am, apparently.
All right.
Twilight.
Yeah, Twilight. All right. So moving on to
I think that was a porn also.
Yeah, Toilet Zone. Yeah, I think it definitely was. All right. So wow, let's not even think about that. What's that? I think it's internet rule number 4 or whatever. Like, if there's anything on the internet, there's been a porn made about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. All right. So anyway, moving on to our final segment, which is we're going to talk about concert experiences. I'm going to talk about a concert experience, and I'm going to mix in a little bit of classic Headbangers Ball with it. I was at
You go all Ricky Rackman on us?
I'm going to go Ricky Rackman on you. We were at a Slayer concert, and it was at the LC, and we were waiting in line, and there was a dude walking up and down the line, and he had a box, like he had it like I don't know, like on suspenders, and he had it like in front of him, and he was selling shirts to everybody, right? And he was selling for $20, and he's walking up and down the line selling the shirts, and people were buying them, and probably about, I don't know, 2 minutes into him selling shirts, these two big guys come walking out of the venue and just like rip the thing off of him, and one guy kicked him in the ass out into the street. I'm shocked he didn't get hit by a car, but
Wow.
he just kicked. There was no cars coming at the time, but he kicked him out into the street. And he just took his the box that he had with all the shirts in it, and the other guy grabbed the money out of his hands, and they just walked back into the venue like nothing else happened.
Wow.
It's like, holy shit! Which I get why they were doing it, because that's like cutting to the band's profits there. So
yeah.
that's why they did it. I never thought they were going to be that what's the word I'm looking for? Brutal about it, but they definitely were. They did not give a fuck.
That's pretty brutal. Yeah, those are definitely knockoff shirts. That happened to me one time in at an Ozfest. They had some dude selling knockoff shirts like out in the parking lot.
Yep.
For like $20. And,
yeah, those kind of shirts where you wash them once and they look like fucking holes all through them.
That's exactly what happened. Like you wash it once and like half of the thing was washed off.
Yeah. Sorry. So onto my my Headbangers Ball story. They had this contest one time where you could have Anthrax visit your house. Like the whole band Anthrax would just go to your house.
Yeah, didn't Kelly Bundy win that one?
No, it wasn't Kelly Bundy. The one it was just some like weird. I mean, maybe there was a couple of them, but the one that I watched was like.
No, you totally missed that. Married with Children. Did you not see that?
But they were on Anthrax was on Married with Children.
Yeah, that was an episode of.
I did not see that. Now I'm gonna have to fucking look that up.
I think it's season maybe 7 or so, but yeah, Kelly Bundy wins a contest and Anthrax comes to their house and they tear the whole house up.
Well, shit, life imitating art. But this was actually like a guy in a contest to have Anthrax visit their house, and they fucking they tore it. You know what? I almost bet they got this off of what Anthrax actually did, because Anthrax went to this guy's house, and I shit you not, this guy had this porch out front. It was held up by like these two like wooden pillars. And Scott Ian took a chainsaw and fucking sawed through one of the fucking pillars. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I saw that one, and I'm trying to remember now.
And Ricky Rackman was like, I tried to tell the guy, hey, we can tell him to stop. And he's like, let him. Boys will be boys.
Yeah. I remember seeing that one now that you mentioned. I'm trying to remember.
That? I didn't fucking.
I'm trying to remember now. No, you didn't, but I'm trying to remember which came first. I have to look it up now.
I bet you that the Married with Children came after that. Now, speaking of Married with Children, did you know that, speaking of Married with Children and a Thundercracker tie-in, did you know that Chris Latta was in Married with Children? He was a member of NAMBLA.
I did not know
NAMBLA,
that.
No Man. Shit, I got NAMBLA and No Man mixed up. Those about the two furthest apart you can possibly get. All right.
Yeah.
That was a bunch of bullshit.
Wow.
Time killing. All right. So what is your concert story there, Goodwin?
But we're just filling their ears with all kinds of useful stuff today, aren't we?
You're like, holy shit, we can learn about Married with Children and Chris Latta and wow.
And for all you kids out there, if you have not seen Married with Children,
oh, that's an amazing show.
You have missed out on an amazing show.
Wasn't Peggy Bundy in Sons of Anarchy?
Yep. Completely different role, but yeah. Yep. She's married to the writer of that show.
Yeah. She's in another show too, where like you could see her whole backside. It was like I can't think of it was the same writer too.
Oh, was that the Bastard Executioner?
Yep, that's the one. Yes.
Yeah. It only lasted like one season.
Yep.
Yeah. It's that one. But concert story. Forgot what we were talking about. Concert story. Let's see. I went to go see Iced Earth in New Orleans it was Tim Ripper Owens was their singer at the time, and this was for their Glorious Burden tour when that album came out, and this was at the House of Blues. And I'm trying to remember who the first band was. I want to say Evergrey, if I remember right, and then Children of Bottom.
No, opened. All right.
And then Iced Earth came on.
I always pronounce that Bodum.
It could be. I don't know. I don't know
either. So go ahead.
Bottom, Bodum.
Yep.
So I go see, man. This is the Glorious Burden tour, and on the Glorious Burden album, it's the whole album is kind of there's a theme about like historical songs, a lot of them to deal with battles of some sort. Like there's a song about Attila, and there's a song about the Revolutionary War, and so on and so forth. And the big draw to the album is the last 3 songs are all part of like basically one big song, which makes up this 30-minute epic piece about the Battle of Gettysburg. And it's broken up into 3 different songs, where each song represents the Battle of Gettysburg lasted 3 days. So each song represents one day of the battle, the first day, second day, third day of the battle. It's this huge epic piece. And this was the tour they were touring for. So I was hoping they were going to play the song live. So I got there early, and the House of Blues in New Orleans is right alongside the street. And where they load in the band is like this two big, huge wooden like barn doors kind of right next to the street where they normally load the band in. And the doors were closed, but if you stand next to the door, you can hear pretty much whatever's going on inside. And when I got there, it was still early. Ice Earth was actually doing their sound check because I could hear them. It's like, well, cool. I can listen to them sound check, right? I can't see them, but I can hear them. So I'm listening to them, and they run through a song or two, and then they kick into this Gettysburg piece, right? And they played the entire thing for sound check.
Well, that's awesome.
Whole thing. So I stood there and heard the whole thing for sound check. It was awesome.
So you got like a bonus concert.
I did. And then of course the concert kicks in, and I go in there and listen, and then when they get on, that's what they ended with. But again, they played the whole thing, and it was really cool because the main guitar player, John Schaefer, came out, and he had like the old Rebel uniform jacket.
Yep.
That he was wearing, and he had his guitar had the Rebel flag painted on it, and then the other guitar player had the Union jacket with the American flag painted on it.
That's pretty awesome right there.
So I thought that was cool, and they put on a great performance, and they played the whole song all the way through. It was amazing. They sounded great. Ripper was awesome. I didn't know what to expect from him with the old stuff. I didn't know how he would sing the old Barlow stuff, but he did outstanding. I mean, he just tore it up. And then at the time, I was in a band at the time, and we had just recorded like a really crappy recording of a couple of songs that we did, and I think it was like maybe 3 or 4 songs. We were just trying to make a little demo, something we did ourselves, and like it was recorded like at our bass player's house. He had like one of those free recording programs, really crappy stuff, and I was not a fan of how it came out, but it was kind of all we had. So I just happened to have a copy on me on disc. So after the show, I'm like, they're all waving and everything, and everybody got their hands up. So I'm holding the disc up, and Tim, the singer, actually reached out and took it from me.
Awesome.
And then went. I was like, hey, that was cool. So he probably listened to it for 10 seconds and threw it in the trash. But it was still pretty cool that he got my demo from me.
That's awesome. You said you're out of heavy metal concert fucking stories. That was a great one.
Yeah. That was I had forgotten about that one, so that was pretty cool.
All right. Well, fuck. That was pretty good, man. That fucking gave me a nice heavy metal fucking uplift for the day. All right. So that about does it for our concert stories and does it for our reviews. I want to thank everybody for listening. The people that listen. People come and listen to it later. Like we always say, we get 20 views, and 18 of them are me and Drugman.
Yep.
So, and just so you know, you can catch me if you're going to be in Ohio, and if you're going to be in Columbus, you can catch me on Sunday from noon to 1. I'll be at the Greater Columbus Convention Center. I'll be there all day, but I'll be there in my Cobra Trooper costume, and a couple of the members of the Fighting 5th Central Defense Garrison are going to be there. There will be Wild Weasel there, and I believe there will be a Cobra Viper there. So if you want to come and get your pictures taken, and you can get little tokens and shit. So that's not exactly heavy metal news, but fuck it, I'll plug it. So yeah, I'll be there, and you get your pictures taken in front of they even have the big background that looks like the card back of a G.I. Joe figure. So
that's cool. I always liked the Crimson Guard from the G.I. Joe.
Yeah, Well, I'm just a Cobra Trooper, so fuck it.
Cool.
But yeah, they I'm not sure if anybody's doing the Crimson Guard. I'm sure somebody is because they have like some pretty elaborate costumes. Like there's a Battle Android Trooper and shit too. But not in my little area, but definitely. But Wild Weasel, his costume's pretty cool too. But yeah, that's my plug-in. Yeah, fucking everybody. Hey, stay metal. Dreadwind, go ahead.
Stay metal. Catch y'all
All
next
right.
week.
See you next week.